Okay, there are different things. There's so many things we're going to achieve today. There are different things that we are going to do today. And I'm going to list all of those things out. But before we move on, while I was in the background, while we were listening to the testimonials, and I was about to jump in to start speaking, just like the way I'm speaking right now, there's something I thought about. I just had a random thought. And I thought to myself, I know I'm using thoughts and thoughts and thoughts, but yeah, I thought to myself, I said, I think I would like to hear from the audience and what they actually think about this. Okay, I had a random thought, and it's something that is quite popular. It's not something that is new. I'm not the originator of this particular thought, but I also want to get your thoughts as well on this matter, on this issue. But before I talk about that, before I mention what I thought about, which I would want to get your thought on as well, today we're going to see what recruiters are interested in the year 2025. We are almost done with the year 2024. It's like yesterday where everyone shouted, "Oh, Happy New Year," and then we had the New Year resolutions and all of that. Now we are going into a new year, and all of those things, everything we did at the start of the year, all of those things are going to happen once more. That's starting in the month of January, talking about the New Year resolution, having different goals that we would want to achieve. So we will take a look at what recruiters are searching for, what you can go ahead to do, the skills that you can learn that would help you land the job, skills that you can learn in 4 months, and most especially how you can get the job. For that to be the case, for us to understand everything that we are going to discuss today, and for us to have fun, because we are going to have lots and lots of fun. If you've been in any of my sessions previously, you know that fun is a staple, and we're going to be having fun. So, in addition to learning about what recruiters are looking out for in the year 2025, and in addition to having fun, for all of this to be the case for you, and for you. Yes, I'm talking to you that have a plate of food by your side at the moment, and you're just munching on food while you're listening to me. Okay, yeah, you. Okay, for that to be the case, for you to partake in all of this, you need, all right, busy brains, fantastic. Okay, so for you to be a part of all of these, we need, there's something that's very, very important that we all need to do, and that is we need to communicate. This is not a session where I'm just going to be speaking and you'll be listening. Yeah, let's say over 80% would be that, but there would need to be interaction. What do I think communication is? Or what do I define as what communication is? So what communication is? I know your standard communication definition. If you're familiar with the Oxford Dictionary or you're familiar with the Merriam-Webster or whatever dictionary you use, you know that communication means when you pass a message, someone else understands the message, and then you're using some sort of medium. But that's old school definition. That's not ISIS's definition anyways. My definition of communication is I speak, you speak, and we all speak. All right, I'll repeat myself. I speak, you speak, and we all speak. That is what communication is to me. Of course, I understand that everyone might not be able to unmute, so we don't want to have a ruckus. So everyone might not be able to unmute and speak. But what would be our medium for communication from your own side, anyways? It's by using the chat box, just like Busy Brains just did, and also just like Andrew did. Okay. Or I speak, you listen and respond. So Busy Brains, it's I speak, you speak, we all speak. Okay, so I'm going to be asking questions. I'm going to be making comments. I'm going to want to get your thoughts. And I would want you to work with the chat box as much as possible to communicate with me. So we can do both things. That's number one, understand what recruiters want in the year 2025. And number two, have fun. To test that out, to test if we are ready to communicate, I want to get our responses. Are we ready to know what my random thought it was? Because at the start of the session I mentioned that I had the random thought that I would like to share with you guys to also get your thoughts on that thought. Okay, so do we want to hear what that is about? So Busy Brain says 100% ready, fantastic. So John says good day. So I think John is just joining us, great. So Rosemary says yes, please. I need more responses. Betty, are you ready to go? Are you ready to listen to that thought I had? Brian, what about you? Joanna, all right, what about you? So fantastic. So nobody says yes, please. OJ is ready to go. Okay, Laju, what about you? Godwin is also ready to go. Larry is ready to go. Ade is ready to go. Fantastic. Now, what is that thought? What's that thought I had that I want to share with you guys? What did I think about? I was wondering, like I said, it's not innovative. It's something that has been there for a while, but I don't know why the thought just came to my mind. But I was wondering, the chicken and the egg, which comes first? Okay, the chicken and the egg, which comes first? So that's my thought. So Breezy Point says the egg. Victoria said the egg. Sylvia says the chicken. Oyeka says the egg. Norma says the chicken. So I can see the chicken, egg, chicken, egg. It seems I think most persons saying is the egg, and then we have few persons saying the chicken. Okay, I need more responses anyways. I need more responses. So Larger says is the chicken. Okay, Larger says is the chicken. Onyeka says is the chicken as well. Okay, so we'll get to do a deeper dive into that later on down the line. If it's really the chicken or if it's really the egg. Each one says it depends. Okay. Anyways, stay tuned because we are going to dissect that. Today, we are going to know which comes first, the chicken or the egg. We're going to have fun, guys. I know that for a fact. Now, moving on. What are we taking a look at? I mentioned earlier, the reason why you are here, the reason why you joined the call, the reason why you decided to spend the next couple of hours, just under 2 hours in this session, is to understand what should you be looking out for. Because when you understand what recruiters are looking out for in the year 2025, you will understand what you should look out for, what you should attempt to do, what you should go ahead to learn in the next year. The job trends in 2025, skills employers are looking for, and how you can learn in 4 months. But first of all, what is Tenalytics? Maybe this is the first time you're joining one of our sessions and you're wondering, what's Tenalytics? So who is Tenalytics? How is Tenalytics? Which is Tenalytics? Why is Tenalytics? Okay, all of the different I've forgotten what they are called. Okay, but yeah, so who is Tenalytics? Tenalytics, we're an edtech firm, and what we do is that we help as many Africans, the Black community in general, transition into tech by lowering the tech barrier. We've been able to help over 2,000 plus people transition from the classroom to get their first job in tech. And we have programs ranging from data analytics to business analysis to data engineering, data science, financial analytics, HR analytics, cybersecurity, agile project management, also known as Scrum, and of course, AI engineering, which is coming soon. And we have facilitators across the leading global companies, that's the Fortune 500 companies, from Microsoft to Amazon, etc. Okay, and so we are here to help you achieve your goals. We are here to help you move from whatever it is you are doing at the moment to where you want to be. But what about this guy? Okay, what about this guy that has been speaking for a while? You just joined the session and there was this guy talking about the chicken and the egg. What? Okay, the chicken and the egg. How is that relevant to what we are here to do? So you might be wondering, who am I? Hello everyone, I'm Aisha Sagmolaho, as you can see from the name tag at the bottom left, okay? And I'm the lead in charge of trainings and operations here at Analytics. I have experience ranging from data analytics to business analysis, power platform engineering, and also predictive AI engineering, okay? And I've been able to train participants across 4 continents. That's from Africa to Europe to North America, Asia, and also Australia. So, and that's a little bit about me. There are other exciting things about me, which maybe we'll get to learn about later on. But, These are the mundane things anyways. Okay, but let's move on. We're not yet to see this phase. We want the different sections, there are different things that we want to take a look at. There are different this master tech series is what that's going to begin in December 7th, and I'll also take questions. So let's begin. I would want to know, do you have New Year resolutions? Or let me rephrase. Let me rephrase the question. Like, don't forget, I mentioned that it's going to be very interactive. Again, what is communication? I speak, you speak, we all speak. So it's close to the new year. We're just a few days away into the new year. Do we have plans? Have you been making plans for the new year? Do you have new year resolutions? Are there things that you are looking to achieve come the year 2025? Have you been making plans? As you can see from the screen right now, so you can see this lady is currently trying to chat out what our plans are like. As you can see our book, she's trying to use the calendar to mark, oh, by this point I want to achieve this. Have you done something similar, or are you looking to do something similar? Maybe it's quite early. Maybe you want to do that in December. I want to get your thoughts. It could be a yes or a no. So maybe the answer is yes, maybe the answer is no. And I want to get responses, okay? So do we have New Year resolutions? Have we gone ahead to start coming up with our New Year resolutions? So Victoria says, yeah. Victoria says, yeah. Fantastic, Victoria. Victoria says, yeah, I'm actually coming up with my New Year resolutions already. And John says, yes, I do. Victor, what about you? Andrew, Busy Brain says, absolutely, we all have it, but in diverse resolution strategies. Emma, I want to get your response. Emma, have you gone ahead to have you gone ahead to draft out your New Year resolutions? Enna says, yes, I am working on it. So Enna is working on it. Fantastic. And then we have Kennedy. Kennedy says, yes, I do. Victor says, I do. Esther says, yes, I really do. I really, really do. And Nondum Miso says, yes, I do as well. Great. That's a good one. Already making plans for what you want to achieve. And Emma says, yes, I do. Making plans for what you want to achieve. And that's great. And that is the reason why you being in this session right now is very, very important. So when you are making plans, you are making plans based on what is going to happen in the new year. You are making plans based on what the data says. It's time to take charge and take a look at the job trends take a look at the job trends for the year 2025. Earlier this month, we carried out an analysis. Okay, we carried out an analysis to find out what jobs are actually going to be relevant come the year 2025. We carried out analysis to find out what jobs are in high demand right now, and that trend is going to follow suit come the year 2025. What skills are necessary? What are recruiters saying? Oh, this is what I want, this is what I want, this is what I want. What is the current situation of teams? We did different researches, okay? We carried out different kinds of research, and I'm going to show you few that are relevant to what to the session we're having today. The first one we did is that we took a look at 1,000 job postings on LinkedIn every day for 2 months. So the results came out just this month. So for the past 3 months, we've been carrying out that research on taking a look at job postings on LinkedIn to find out the roles that are in high demand. And that there's a trend, because when you take a look at the data, then you carry out an analysis, because of course at the end of the day we are an analytics company, we are a data company. So we took the data and then we took a look at the trend. So like the trend, and we noticed that there was an exponential growth. It's not like, oh, so maybe you were having something like wavy lines. No, it was almost a perfect diagonal. That's when you compare the number of job postings by time. And what did we find out? On my screen right now are the top 10 roles. And this was what we saw on LinkedIn. Okay, on LinkedIn. What we saw, 1,000 job postings on LinkedIn, okay? These were the top 10 roles, top 10 roles in terms of the number of opportunities available. Let me explain this so we all understand what this research is saying. The research is about how many jobs are posted per day. Example, oh, let's say surgeon, for instance, or let's say there's this job post for surgeons. How many different opportunities, how many job posts for surgeon applicants are available? And I'm just using surgeon as an example now. Okay. So we took a look at AI, the different job posts, and these 10 stood out. From artificial intelligence and machine learning, which was the highest, taking the cake, meaning that there were so many opportunities available, so many jobs. You can decide to apply for 1,000 jobs per day. So many jobs. It's not that you don't have a situation whereby there's just one role, or maybe there's just one role and you have like 1 million people trying to apply for just that role. No, that there are opportunities everywhere you look. The first that took the cake was artificial intelligence and machine learning. And then we noticed data scientist, cybersecurity, data analyst, down to your e-commerce specialist. These are the top 10 roles. In terms of what? In terms of the number of postings, the number of jobs available on the site. This was the first thing we took a look at. So we've noticed that now AI and machine learning, that's like a given. Everyone now, AI is a new thing. So everyone is like AI. AI is everywhere. Even now, I think our X, that's formerly known as Twitter, they would now have AI incorporated into the application. And that was done like a couple of months ago. So there's AI everywhere. So we have AI and machine learning. We have data scientists. Data scientists is actually a branch of AI and machine learning, or rather, AI and machine learning is a branch of what? Of data scientists. And then we have cybersecurity, which is understandable. We have data analyst, your sustainability manager, and a couple of other things. After taking a look at that, we also wanted to find out, okay, so this is the research that we carried out. But something that is very, very common, something that is very possible, especially when you are dealing with data, especially when you're carrying out research that relates to you, there's this tendency that you could be biased. Now, it doesn't mean that you are knowingly biased, but maybe the data could just be skewed in your favor somewhat. You're just carrying out your analysis, and then things are just, there's this thing you just overlooked because the research is yours. So there's this tendency that they could be biased when you're working for yourself. That's why, okay, so like, and this is an example that's really not related to tech, but let's say in medicine, if a surgeon or a doctor, let's say a patient, the sick patient is related to that particular surgeon or a particular doctor, they are usually not allowed to handle that case due to emotions and all of those kind of things. So we understood that, oh, we've carried out research, we found that we've taken a look at what we wanted to see, we've seen what we wanted to see. But we wanted to also check out, are there organizations that have carried out a similar research as we've done at Analytics that are really not related to us at the moment? And that's how we came across the World Economic Forum. The World Economic Forum released a report that showed what the jobs that are going to increase in terms of opportunities with time. This report, a report is released every 2 years. So the last report that we saw was released. The last report is covering from 2025 to 2026 down to 2027, and then of course another report is going to come in soon. And what did we find out in this report? We noticed that by the left, By the left, the job opportunities, the roles that you have by the left, are roles that are going to increase with time in terms of opportunities. So there are so many opportunities available now. If you go on read.co.uk right now, as we are speaking, you can even carry this out. You can carry out this experiment. You go on read.co.uk and you search for what? Data analyst roles. You would see nothing less than 100 new roles that we uploaded just today. 100. Even more than 100, nothing less than 100. And when you go to the site the next day, which is tomorrow, you will find 100 new roles for you to apply to. And it's really not possible for you to apply to 100 roles per day. So there are always opportunities. There are always roles for you to go out there to apply for you to get the job. So we noticed that, wow, recruiters are actually still they want your AI and machine learning specialist, your sustainability specialist. Something that I did not mention that I want to mention is that the World Economic Forum, it's a very, very large organization, and it comprises of most CEOs of the top companies. And these are the guys that talk about, oh, this is where the economic landscape is tilting towards. This is what organizations are looking to do now, because they are the ones at the top. They know what the economy is saying. They know the direction that many companies are going to take. And that is how they came up with this. So after carrying out their research, that, okay, you know what? We are actually seeing a surge in AI and machine learning specialists and also business intelligence specialists, which is actually a role that a data analyst or a data scientist can apply for. Your information security analyst, which is a role that a cybersecurity analyst can work in. Your big data specialist, your data engineers, your database architects, which is a role that a data engineer can work in. By the left, the roles available at the left are roles that are in high demand, and that even in the year 2025, recruiters are still very much looking for people that can function in this capacity. The roles by the right, all of this, the roles by the right, are those that are going to decrease with time in terms of opportunities. So you see your investment fund managers, you see your chemical processing plant operators, you see your sales representative, wholesale, and a couple of other things. And the reason for this is now we are having some roles being merged. We are having tools that are now being able to automate some of these processes that are now making these job roles no longer relevant in current climes. Also, the business analyst, that's your process automation specialist. We also have from the reports that the World Economic Forum brought about. You can see we have the agile project managers. You can see we have the data engineers and cybersecurity specialists, and of course the financial analyst. Another research that we carried out, because like I said, we carried out so many researches to find out what in the year 2025, what are recruiters looking out for. Another research we carried out, and something we found out, is that many companies, about 64% of companies are looking to increase salaries come the new year. Increase salaries for specific roles. Don't worry, you'll get access to the report. All you need to do, ensure you fill the attendance form. Okay, the attendance sheet that my colleague has been sending to the chat box. Click on that link, fill in the attendance form, so you get access to the materials, the slide, the links to all of the research we carried out, so you can read up on all of the things. We noticed that we saw from the data what the data said, and from what we're able to find out, that 64% of companies, of tech companies, not just any companies, of tech companies, are looking to increase salaries in the year 2025 for specific roles. For specific roles. And what are those roles? Roles like your data analyst, all of the roles that the World Economic Forum pointed out are going to increase with time. this is something that everyone needs to jump on. I guess some, I guess something, I there's this, I don't want to say it hot again this time, but sometimes I get messages. Okay, so I receive emails, people reach out to me on LinkedIn saying things like, oh, I should say, you know what, I want to be a business analyst, or I want to get into this career path, and I want to be a cybersecurity analyst, and I feel the career path is saturated. That word, saturated. Saturated is a very big word. Everyone loves using saturated. Okay, everyone loves using saturated. And once you're discussing about career paths, the big guns come out. And what are the big guns? Oh, the industry is saturated. You know, oh yeah, you are guilty. You've said that as well. Oh yes, the industry is saturated. It is what? It is saturated. It is it is saturated. But I want to ask, and I want to get your responses. What do we think saturation means? Okay, what is saturation? Quickly, you can just type into, just type in easy to understand words. What do we think saturation is? What's saturation? Because that's something many people say. Oh, the industry is saturated, it's saturated, it's saturated. We hear about saturation every day. So, what is saturation? What is saturation? Welcome, Eton. So Victoria says saturation is when there are a lot of people in it. More responses. Fantastic, Victoria. Thank you very much. I need more responses. Esther, what is saturation? Ernest says crowded. So I believe that's supposed to be crowded from Ernest. All right. So I need more. Welcome, Moftau. I need more responses. I need more responses. What is saturation? Good luck. What do you think saturation is? Because that's something we've heard every day, every day. I'm sure everyone on this call, you've heard that sometime as well. Someone told you, oh, it's the industry is saturated, it's saturated. It's this buzzword. It's a buzzword. It's just saturated. Okay. Overcrowded. So we have filled up from Afolabi. Thank you very much, Afolabi. So I need more responses. What's happening? I thought we all agreed at the beginning of the session that we are going to communicate. Okay, we agreed we are going to communicate. So what's the issue? What's the issue? Michael, what do you think saturation is? Okay, so Ubang says for my field, it is completely dissolved, covered, or mixed. Exactly. So Ubang is bringing in from chemistry. Okay, Gideon says polluted. Gideon says what? Polluted. Fantastic. More responses. Are you guys gonna keep me dry? So you just like, oh, you know what? I'm gonna leave him. He's gonna speak and speak and speak. He's gonna call on us and call on us. At the end of the day, I'm not gonna write anything. I'm not gonna respond, and we will move on. I know what the funny thing is. Yeah, I will move on because that's really nothing I can do. But yeah, but Mercy says what? When there are more people available, so we have more people than the available opportunities. Fantastic. Kennedy says what? When it is filled up completely with people. Bennett says scarce opportunities. MT says oversubscribed. Like yeah, fantastic. And then Olawumi says what? Drench. Andrew says overdose of something. Fantastic work, people. What is saturation? Saturation means when in the job sense, so let's not go into science. Let's just use the job definition in the job sense. So what's saturation? When you have more people trying to get you, when you have more people trying to get a particular role, trying to get a particular opportunity, and you have lesser amount of jobs. So let's say you have 1 million people trying to become a data analyst, and you have only 1,000 jobs available. That is saturation. But the industry is not saturated. When I tell some persons, oh, you know what? The industry is not saturated, and they're like, oh, what are you saying? I know Kunle says he wants to be Kunle says he wants to be a business analyst. Rebecca says she wants to be a business analyst. That other person. How can you tell me it's not saturated? We've all seen, Because from what we've seen, yeah, it might feel like there are so many persons. But let's picture this. Picture this. Let's say you have 2 million people trying to get a job, trying to succeed in a particular career path. 2 million people. 2 million people, that's a lot. Some countries that don't even have up to 2 million individuals in terms of population. So you have 2 million people trying to get a job, and you have 3 million jobs available. Is that saturated? You have 2 million people, 3 million jobs. Is that saturated? Yes or no? Yes, no. Is it saturated? Okay. No. Thank you, Ernest. No, 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 no. It's not saturated. Thank you, everyone. It's not saturated. It might seem like, oh, 2 million people. Ah, wow. Oh, okay. It might seem like a lot, but that is not saturated. No, it's not. Now, what about this example? Let's say you have 10 people that are looking to get a job in a certain career path, and you have 5 jobs available. Is that saturated? Is that saturated? You have what? You have 10 people that want to get a job, and you have 5 jobs available. Is that saturated? Okay, thank you, Adando. Okay, thank you, Kennedy. Thank you, Rebecca. Okay, so so I can see yes, yes. So Rebecca says no. Rebecca is no, it's not. Rebecca says no, it's not saturated. But John says yes, it's saturated. Okay, so what do we think? What do we think? So Adiola says no. So I'm going to repeat. Okay, you have what? 10 people, 10 different professionals that are looking to succeed in a certain career path. They are looking to get jobs, and you have 5 jobs available. Is that saturated or not? Okay, so Emma says yes, it is saturated. Enna says no. Enna says no. And Enna gives us a reason. Enna is like, no, but no, hear me out. Hear me out. This is my reason. Ernest's reason is what? Because it would depend on the skill set required for the job. That's a good one, Ernest. But what about if they are all equally skilled? Okay, they are all equally skilled. So we have 10 equally skilled people, and we have 5 jobs available. Is it saturated? I don't think we can agree on this. I can say yes, no. Unlike what with the last question I asked, everyone was like, no, 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 it's not saturated. Okay. But now this seems to be a little bit tricky, because I can see we are getting yes, we're getting no, we are getting yes, we're getting no. Okay. But what is the situation? Yes, it is saturated. It is, when some persons think of saturation, it's like, oh, there has to be this huge amount, there has to be this huge volume. No, it's about, okay, now let's do a little skidado into chemistry, into science. So what is saturation? When the solvent is no longer able to dissolve your solute. So you have a cup of water, and you have sugar. You have your cup of water and you have sugar. Your sugar, that's le sucre, if you speak French. Your sugar, you can place you can you can turn you can how do you is there a word for putting sugar in the cup of water? I don't think there's a specific word, so I'm just going to go ahead and say when you put your sugar, okay, you scoop your sugar and place it in your cup of water. You can, when you put your sugar in your cup of water, it would be dissolved. Okay, it gets dissolved. You keep adding sugar, the sugar keeps getting dissolved because the solvent can dissolve the solute. There's a particular point you will get to that when you add in more sugar, it will no longer be dissolved. That is what? Saturation. Okay, so you can have a situation where you have just a cup of water and you have, let's say, 5 teaspoons of sugar, and the cup of water is only able to take what? 3 teaspoons, and then you have 2 teaspoons left. It's saturated. And then when you can have a big drum, a drum that takes care of an entire city, and then you have, let's say, 2 bags. You have 2 bags of sugar, 2 bags, 2 full bags of sugar, and you have a drum that caters for the entire city, provide water for the entire city. You can turn the entire 2 bags of sugar into that drum, and as long as you can still add more sugar for it to be dissolved, it is not saturated. So yes, empty. That is hyper competitive, because now you have little opportunities and you have so many people. So whenever we're talking about saturation, let's understand what we're saying, because all of this tech, all of this job, all of these skills, all of these tech roles that have been shown, that we saw, using our research, and that has also been shown by the World Economic Forum, are not saturated. I gave a quick example. I told you right now that you can go right now on read.co.uk. You can go on the read.co.uk. Okay, that's a very popular site, and search for, let's say, data science roles or business analyst roles. You can search, just say business analyst roles, and you find that, and you filter. You can filter using for roles uploaded today. You'll find nothing less than 100. And we both know it's not possible for you to apply to 100 roles per day. And then when you go to the site the next day, you find 100, nothing less than 100 new roles. And this is just one site. This is just one site, one job site. Getting a job in any of the skill sets, what can limit you is only you and not the industry. So those are what we've seen. Those are the things we noticed. What are recruiters looking out for? Recruiters are looking out for those roles that I showed you earlier, from the research we carried out, that's from the web scraping that we did on LinkedIn, where we saw your data scientist, your data analyst, we saw your sustainability manager, we saw your software developer, we saw your AI and machine learning specialist, we saw all of those things. Okay, Kingsley, I said read.co.uk. Read, that's REED, read.co.uk. Okay, so all of those job roles, there's so many career paths, all of those career paths, from being a software developer, like I mentioned, to being a data engineer, to being an AI specialist, a sustainability specialist, the e-commerce specialist, those roles are going to be in high demand in 2025. You are going to have recruiters searching for people. Don't forget, I mentioned that 64% of companies, of tech companies, are going to increase salaries for these job roles come the year 2025. Okay, and so those roles are very much in high demand. But you might be wondering, okay, ISIS have heard you. Okay, no problem. We've been able to see, oh, the industry is not saturated, the opportunities. We took a look at different data. We took a look at the data from LinkedIn. We took a look at the data from World Economic Forum. We took a look at different data, the data from the fact that salaries are going to be increased for this job roles come the year 2025. We've taken a look at all of this. But is it really possible to learn in 4 months? Because Aisha, I'm not a kid. Okay, I'm an adult. Just, we are all adults. We don't have the time. We as an adult, we have to go to work. We have to because at the end of the day, we have to make money. The Benjamins, right? We have to take care of our kids, spend time with our spouse. There's so many things going on. So we really don't have the time to say, okay, I want to learn this, and then you have to go ahead to learn for, let's say, a year, 2 years plus, for you to get what you need to be able to land a job. And so you're wondering, is it really possible to learn these skills in 4 months and get a job? Is it possible? Yes, it is. But why? It's easy to just say, "Oh, yes, it is." So, is it possible to do this? Is it possible to fly? Yes, it's possible to fly. All you need to do, just get your wings, strap on, and hop. You fly away. Okay, okay. It's easy to say yes, it's possible to fly, but is it really possible? So Norma is also asking, what about work experience? What about experience? I will get to that. Stay with me, okay? Stay with me. I'll get to that. I got you. So, is it possible? Yes, it is possible. But why? Why? Why is it possible? Why is it possible to learn in 4 months? And there's even this just like Norma mentioned, talking about experience. How is it not possible to learn the skills in 4 months and get a job? How? I will show you. When you're looking to transition, when you're looking to choose any one of this career path, there are some things that you should look out for. Two things actually. Number one is ease of learning. Number two is ease of transitioning. And number three is high and rewarding salary. It's easy for you to just go and say about and say, okay, I want to be this. This is the skill I want to get into. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. But you need to take these two things into consideration if you're looking to learn in 4 months and get a job. Number one, ease of learning. What is that talking about? Ease of learning is saying that a skill that you can learn quickly. Ease of learning does not mean that it's going to be like the alphabet, your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. When you're back in preschool, learning how to recite the alphabets. No, A for apple, B for ball, C for cat, and D for dog, E for egg, and F for fish, G for goat, and H for house. I for what? What's I for? Don't we have kids? Or we don't sing this to our kids? Is that the case? Or we don't want to answer? What is I for? I for what? Tinu says I for igloo. Tinu, are you really sure? Igloo would. Are you really sure you use igloo? It depends on where you live, anyways. Tinu, because igloo is might not really be known by kids from from Australia. I don't think I don't think we know what igloos are. Igloos are. Okay, but yeah. All right, but yes, igloos are a very good one. Okay, so again, it really depends on your location, okay, on your climate and all of that. But I need more. So we got igloo from Tinu. We got India, I for India from Samsung. I for insect. I for insect from what? From Adeshola. I for ink from Aisha. I for Indomie from Esther. I for ice cream. Thank you very much, Adebayo. That's the one I was looking for. Everyone is saying I for ink. Yes, I is good. Yes, we know I for ink. But ice cream, come on, ice cream is the most popular one. La glace. Okay, that's the most popular one. Oh, don't you guys like ice cream? When was the last time you took ice cream as an adult? When was the last time you took ice cream as an adult? Fahid, Salim says I for intimate. Okay. All right. All right. So it's I for ice cream. It's I for ice cream. I for ink, I for igloo, and I for Indomie as well. So when was the last time we took ice cream? So Rosemary says today, fantastic, fantastic, fantastic. Adeshala says last week. That's good as well. Okay, that's good as well. When was the last time you took ice cream? I want to know because I noticed that adults don't take care of themselves. Okay, adults don't take care of themselves. Yeah, we are always we are always so trying to, we are always taking care of the kids, going to work, but you don't take care of yourself. When was the last time you had some sort of, just, it doesn't have to be extravagant. Maybe if you always bought tacos, okay, you maybe every Friday you buy one taco. Maybe this time buy two tacos instead. Okay, flex. Take care of yourself. Go to the amusement park, and go to the amusement park alone. Don't take your kids along. Because if you take your kids along, it's no longer an enjoyment for you because you're don't move. Oh, stay there. Stay with me. Oh, don't do this. Okay. But but take care of yourself. Take care of yourself. Okay. Take care of yourself. It's very, very important. It's very, very important. Yes, yes, John. Yes, John. I understand, Sylvia. Okay, it's true. We walk, we pay our bills and take care of the little ones. It's tiring sometimes. I know that it's our responsibility, but just relax. Okay, just relax. Go to that ice cream shop and get ice cream. Just get ice cream. Sit in the shop. Just 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 eat your ice cream. Just it's we just you don't need to do something extravagant, like I said. Okay. And if you want to do that anyways, that works as well. But I want everyone on this call to make a conscious effort to take care of yourselves. Okay, take care of yourselves. Very, very important. So that being said, your ease of learning, like I said, we're not talking about learning ABCs. We're not saying that, oh, the tech skill is going to be easy to learn. Like, oh, you're going to go ahead and learn just like your ABCs and your 1, 2, 3s. No, but that it is that you can learn in a short time frame. That it's not going to be a situation where you have to now go, spend a year plus like you're going for your master's. Okay, no, that's just too much time. So ease of learning, skills that you can learn in 3 months, 4 months, 5 months tops. You get what you need and you're able to use that to get a job. That is the first thing that you need to consider. The number two is ease of transitioning. What is ease of transitioning? Ease of transitioning is saying, are there opportunities available? Like, what are the opportunities available? Is it easy for you to transition from whatever it is you are doing at the moment towards getting a job? Ease of transitioning actually banks on two things. Okay, actually two things. The first is that you don't need to have some sort of background for you to be able to transition into that particular role. Ease of transitioning. And number two, the fact that there are so many opportunities available that you can go ahead to apply to multiple jobs, because of course, the more you apply to jobs, the better your chances of you getting that job. It's just, it's 1 + 1 = 2. It's very, very simple. That's ease of transitioning. So you also want to identify roles that have so many opportunities. And then of course, high and rewarding salary. We're talking about the Benjamins now. At the end of the day, you don't just want to be able to cater for your needs. That is very, very important. Yes, you should cater for your needs. After all, everyone needs clothing, shelter, and nutrition. Everyone needs clothing, shelter, and nutrition. Great. But I, for one, I believe that your wants are equally as important as your needs. So you want to earn well to be able to get your wants, to be able to spend, let's say, $1,000 on a pair of shoes without, batting an eye. You want to be able to do that. I know some people are like, oh, what? But, it's something you want to look at for. So, two things: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and of course, high and rewarding salary. These three things, you can find them in 8 career paths. Remember, when we took a look at the jobs available in terms of opportunities, okay, with the research we found that from LinkedIn and also the research from the World Economic Forum, there are so many roles available. Like, there are so many roles that there are opportunities. Like, you're going to be relevant, you're going to find jobs that you learn, and you know that there are so many opportunities that you can apply and you get a job. There were many. But the only ones that contain these three different things, from ease of learning to ease of transitioning and high rewarding salary, are your business analyst, your data analyst, your data science, your data engineering, cybersecurity analyst, your agile project manager, HR analyst, and financial analyst. And why, you might be wondering? Oh, why? Why is it this 8? Simple. Let's take a quick example. Software engineering, that's software development. From the research we carried out, we saw that from LinkedIn, right? We saw that software developers are in high demand because right now you have so many startups. So we have this startup company, that startup company. Every company is tilting towards what? Tech. That's many companies are having websites that you can go ahead to maybe order or see what they do. They're having applications. So it's like every company, even hospitals now, hospitals are having some sort of website even. So software developers very high in demand. So it falls under number 2. Yes, under number 2, ease of transitioning. That is, once there are many opportunities for you to be able to transition to get a job. But what about number 1, ease of learning? For you to be a software developer, you need to spend at least 12 to 16 months learning. Because you're going to learn different languages. From, of course, you start with your HTML, which is really not a language, but more of a script. And then you move to your JavaScript, and then, of course, to your programming language, your Python for your backend. Some persons work with Python for frontend as well. Talking about your Python front-end libraries, and then for some developers, C Sharp is also, or C++ is also a language that they work with. And then, of course, you also have your PHP. There are so many languages involved. And for you to be proficient in these languages, you need time. That's why for you to be a good software developer, 12 to 16 months of pure learning. And that is if you are diligent, because we all know sometimes you learn and take a break. And that you are taking a look at 2-3 years. Are we following? If you know you're with me, send a "I am with you" to the chat box. Okay? If you are with me, send "I am with you" to the chat box. I know it's a long one. Before we type that, I could have just said yes, but no, I don't want that. I want "I am with you." Thank you very much. Thank you, Alima. So I am with you. I am with you. I am with you. Thank you very much, everyone. Good to know that we are following. Okay, so that is what we're saying. So software development is it's an example that I want to use because I know that we all can understand that. So software development, you have to be a software developer. Fantastic, bravo, that's a good one. So what does it follow that? Ease of transitioning. Great, it's easy for you to transition. Is it paid? Is it well paid? Yes, it's well paid. But is it easy to learn? No. You would spend time learning. So these 8 skills I just mentioned, from your business analysis to your data analysis, your data scientist, and another example, we're talking about your another example, because I use software development, we have AI engineering. We have AI engineering. That's talking about your AI, your robotics, your entire machine learning field. You can learn machine learning in data science. Okay, but when you're not progressing fully into AI, of course, I'm not going to go into that. Everyone on this call knows that you are going to need to study a whole lot. But is it easy to transition? Yes, if you're a good AI expert, trust me, as soon as you enter the market, you're snatched just like that. Okay, you are snatched just like that. Is it high, and does it have high and rewarding salary? Yes. Ease of learning? Yes. And then we saw a role that I think we saw the e-commerce specialist. Is it easy for you to transition? That's ease of learning. Fantastic. Yes, it's easy for you to learn. Is it easy for you to transition? Yes. Are rewarding salary? No. The salary is good, but it's not as high as these tech skills. So these are what you should be looking out for. But in addition to that, because the question that we are taking a look at, the question you asked, probably you asked that question, write it in your mind, okay? And even yes, the question that we're taking a look at, okay, is it possible to learn these skills in 4 months and get a job? And I think it was Norma, if I'm not mistaken. Norma also mentioned, what about the experience? What does the experience look like? That is a very good one. I don't talk about unicorns. And what are unicorns? Unicorns are horses that have horns. Horses. Giddy up, giddy up, giddy up, giddy up. With what? With horns. And do they exist? No, they don't exist. But every little princess wants a unicorn as a pet. Maybe your kid has also asked you for a unicorn one certain time. Oh, dad, please, can I get a pet? I want to can I get a pet? Please, dad, please, mom, can I get a pet? I would like a pet. I want a pet. I want a unicorn. Oh, kids. But unicorns don't exist. So I'm not gonna tell you things that are fictitious, things that are only in fairy tales. For you to get a job, when you go on job sites, I love using read.co.uk, so I'm going to use that example again. When you go on read.co.uk or any job site for that matter, and you search for jobs, something that you would keep saying repeatedly is that you need experience. You are going to see things like, oh, I need 2 years experience. I need with that requirement, 2+ years experience, 5+ years experience, 10 years experience, 50 years experience, 100 years experience, 200 years experience. That's what you see. Some persons think, sometimes I hear things like, oh, I just learned, I wanted to guide me because, I just learned the skills now, and I was hoping you can guide me to get an entry level role. And I'm like, what entry level? What do you mean by entry level? Oh, entry level, a role that doesn't really require experience. A role that doesn't require experience. Does that exist? Okay. So I believe entry-level roles are a myth. There's no such thing. This is my belief, and this is what we at Analytics also believe. There's no such thing as entry-level roles. If you go out there right now and you search for those jobs, if you take a look at 10 roles, 10 jobs, I can guarantee that 8 of them would require that you have some sort of experience. Because no one wants to spend spend money to train you. The reason they are looking to employ someone is someone that will come into the organization and help them fix problems, not someone that will come into the organization and they would need to teach how to fix problems. So how do you go about that? It's easy. Easy. We know what works. And that is what we've been doing over time. Having helped over 2,500 people transition from the classroom to getting their first job in tech. Let's take a look at Victoria. And how Victoria is going to and how Victoria is going to transition. First and first, we have Victoria. Victoria is currently a customer service rep, and she's looking to become a data engineer. Okay, Victoria is a customer service rep. She wants to be a data engineer. What is the first thing Victoria needs to do? She needs to learn the skills. Very, very important. Okay, so she needs to learn the skills. So she goes ahead to what? To learn by using a dual learning approach, The self-paced learning materials on the Tenalytics LMS, and then the live classes, the live instructor-led classes. So Victoria uses the dual learning approach with Tenalytics. So she's learning just like the way we're having this conversation right now. In a class, she's speaking with the facilitator. She's working on projects, gaining experience, asking questions, solving problems. She's doing all of that in the live classes. And then she's also going through the learning management system of Tenalytics, going through the self-paced learning videos that are available on data engineering. She gets the skills. What next? She needs experience. One thing for for us to note is that there are actually two ways for you to get experience. Two ways. Because we know, and this is the situation of many people, that, oh, you know what? Oh, I want to get a job. I want to get a job. And this job says I need experience. So if I need experience to get the job, and I need the job to get experience, how then do I get the job? I need experience to get the job, and I need the job to get experience. So how do I go about that? It's what I love to call the cycle of doom. Okay, so you're just going round and round and round and round. You need the experience to get a job. So how do you now get into that flow? By using the second method, which is what? Your project-based experience. That is why, what did Victoria do? Victoria went ahead to build a portfolio based on the projects that she worked on in every one of her classes. Because the project that Victoria worked on in every one of her life classes are industry relevant case studies. Projects that are facilitators in their career as data engineers. They brought this career they brought these problems from their day-to-day operations as a data engineer, what they've worked on, the problems they encountered, the project they've worked on. They brought those problems to class, change the name of the company, and 18 or 2 about the data sets, and that's like maybe change a row or two about the data due to data privacy issues. So we don't have issues where it's relating to data privacy laws. And then Victoria works on that project with the facilitator, learning and gaining experience. And is the reason we call it experience-based learning. So she's working on projects, she's working on problems that she would originally encounter in a role as a data engineer. She's working on those problems in class because those problems have been brought from the office into the classroom. And after working on those projects, she develops a portfolio, a website portfolio, and a GitHub portfolio. A website portfolio to show the projects that she worked on and how she was able to fix the issues, and a GitHub portfolio to show her code. Someone say gain experience. Someone say gain experience. I need responses. Okay. Say gain experience. I think this is like it seems I'm preaching or something. Excuse me. Okay, so type in gain experience. Gain experience. No one wants to type in gain experience. Is that the case? All right, thank you very much, Rebecca. So gain experience. Thank you, Raul. Gain experience. Thank you, Adebayo. Okay, gain experience. So all of that will now serve as what? As our experience. Showing the recruiters that I've done this. You want someone that can work on that? You want someone with 2 years experience? Yes, I have 2 years experience because I've worked on problems that people with 2 years experience have worked on, with 5 years experience have worked on. I've worked on those problems. I know how to fix them. You can take a look at what I've done for my GitHub page. Take a look at the code I wrote. I was able to fix up the problem. You can also visit my portfolio website. Now that she has gone ahead to get what experience, that's she has a portfolio which is serving as a project-based experience. What is the next thing? Employability skills. you getting, you having skills, you knowing how to be a data engineer or you knowing how to be a HR analyst, that is not enough for you to get a job. You need to also have employability skills. You need to also be able to present yourself in the right manner for recruiters to employ you. It's one thing for you to be able to do it, for you to be able to do the job, and it's something else entirely for recruiters to believe that you can do the job. It's one thing for you to be able to do the job. It's something else entirely for you to get an interview. And that's why Victoria went ahead to get what? CV review and revamp that. Sorry about that, everyone. So Victoria went ahead to have her CV reviewed and revamped to showcase her new experience. Because on her CV, she's not going to place, she's applying for the role of a data engineer, on her CV, she's having customer service rep. No, that's not going to fly. But rather, the CV review will show her how she can convert her past customer service rep experience into valuable data engineering experience. And then our LinkedIn is well optimized. She goes through how she can navigate the job market for her to know when and how to apply for jobs. She's prepared for an interview when she gets an interview, so she can schedule an interview prep. And of course, when the recruiter wants a reference letter, she's provided with a reference letter and also on the job support for when she has issues and she needs guidance on how to go about her role. And she also needs, after getting all of these employability skills, she also needs what? Networking and mentorship. Networking networking expose Victoria to opportunities that she would not originally have had. For example, a quick one. Sometime this year, one of our participants, that's Stephen Anwarton. Stephen got a job as a data analyst in Scotland. Stephen got a job as a data analyst in Scotland. When he got the job, when he got the interview prep, when he got the interview, he reached out to us for an interview prep, and we helped prep. Please just give me a minute. I think I need to take some water. My voice is. Just give me 2 seconds, please. All right. I'm sorry about that. Welcome back, everyone. So, the networking and mentorship. After Victoria went ahead to she gained employability skills, she also needed what? Networking. And I was telling you about one of the participants. That's Anwarton Stephen. Stephen Anwarton. Stephen got a job as a data analyst from what? From Scotland. Okay. And when he got the interview, he reached out to us and we prepped him for the interview. He scheduled an interview prep session, and we scheduled him we prepped him for the interview, and he went ahead to get the job. After Stephen got the job, the company that he was working for told him that, asked him if he knew any other data analyst. Okay, if he knew any other data analyst that would want to work with them, because there were two available data analyst roles. So what did Stephen do? Stephen reached out to us and said, oh, do we have anyone we would like to recommend? Anyone living in Scotland that would want to work as a data analyst in this company? We sent out the job post to sorry about that. Okay, so we sent out the job. The job post to our different participants, and those that were in Scotland applied, and 2 people got the job. Number 1 was Sunday, and we had Michael. This was what? Networking. Due to the fact that these people were part of what? Of a community. They were able to get access to opportunities that that originally they would not have had access to. That is something that Victoria also had. And then, of course, mentorship. What does mentorship do? Mentorship would position you to ensure that you are doing things rightly. It's easier for you to succeed in whatever you're looking to do when you have people that have succeeded where you're looking to succeed, that will take you through what they did right, so you get to do those things and so you succeed, and they will take you through things that they did wrongly so you don't do those things, so you don't delay your success. All of these things put together helped Victoria land that job. That is how you go ahead to learn a skill in 4 months and then, of course, eventually get a job. But I'm sure everyone wants to know more. You would like to know more. Oh, wow. So there are skills that I can actually learn in 4 months, 5 months tops. I get what I need from the job. I get what I need from learning. The class is very, very practical, because at the end of the day, it's not theory based, it's practical. As you are working, as you are learning, you're also working on practicals. So it's easier for you to understand what is being taught. You get all of those things, you are able to add in your employability skills, your networking, your mentorship, then you eventually get a job. But I would want to know, what are the job roles and responsibilities for this different career path? Oh, wow, it seems exciting now. Oh, I'm interested. But what does it really mean to be an agile project manager? What are the roles? What are the responsibilities? What does it mean? What does it mean to be a data analyst? It sounds exciting right now. I'm excited. I feel like a little kid again. I'm already understanding what I should be looking out for in the year 2025. I'm already understanding what recruiters are looking out for in the year 2025. But what are those roles really? And what are the responsibilities? We begin with the business analyst. What does a business analyst do? Easy, simple, straight to the point. A business analyst analyzes business processes and identify areas for improvement. A business analyst is that professional that will take an organization from where they are to where they want to be. A business analyst is a person that will take a look at the gap. Okay, so we're currently at point A. We want to get to point B. What is that gap? How can we bridge that chasm? Let's say an example. Let's take a practical example. We have a business analyst that works in a company that sells handbags. And recently, customers have been complaining of what? Have been complaining of delayed deliveries and incorrect orders. So what does the business analyst do? Oh, wow. So customers have been complaining of delayed deliveries. How do we make our delivery process more efficient? Then go out to map out the current process. And what does current process mean? Current process is talking about the as is. How are we doing things at the moment? How things done at the moment? The business analysts notice that, oh, so at the moment, the way orders are done is that first and first, we have the customers. The customers orders by placing a call. Oh, please, I would like to order this item. I want this, I want that. So they manually place calls. And then next, we have a staff. Next, we have a staff at the other end that would what? That would manually write down the orders. So first and first, customer calls. Oh, I want to know, do you have this Chandler handbag, or I want to buy this and this Dosh and Gabbana, that's a D&G, or I want to buy my what are the handbags, whatever bag. Okay, so this is what I want to buy, and then the staff manually writes down that order. After the staff writes down the order, the staff then scans through the notebook to check, do we really have these items that have been ordered by the customer? If the customer said, "Oh, I want an handbag that can also become a purse, that I can convert the bag to a purse." Oh, do we really have that? Oh, yes. Let's say this the staff scan through the notebooks and sees that, oh, okay, so we actually have that handbag. We actually have that kind of handbag. That's the next step. And then what next? The staff then goes to the warehouse to check if the item is available. If it is what available or out of stock. And after that, the staff prints out the order details and also prints out the shipping labels, goes to picks the item, goes to the staff does what? Prints out the order details, goes to the warehouse to check if the item is available, like I said, picks up the item if it's available, and then processes the shipping labels, that's delivery, where is it coming from, all of those things. And also reaches out to the courier to come along to get this item and deliver to the customer. The courier comes along, picks up the item, and delivers. This process takes 3 days. 3 days. This is called what? The current state. So this is what we are doing at the moment. This is what we are doing at the moment, and that's what customers are complaining of. That it takes too long for their items, for their orders to be delivered. So the business analyst would then now bring up an optimized state known as the future state, the to be process. The business analyst says, okay, so instead of having customers call us, instead of having customers call and say, oh, I want this item, I want this bag, why don't they shop online? Why don't we have a website where they can go to, just scan through the kinds of bags they want, and they make an order? And after making an order, instead of having a staff pick up the phone and start manually writing down the order, why don't we have an order management system that would receive the order, would automatically update the inventory, while also what? While also generating the order details. Okay, they do what? Then the order management system would what? Automatically updates the inventory, then automatically generate to check by updating the inventory that it's checking, also checking if the item is still in stock, and then would automatically generate the order details. And as it is generating the order details, it's also sending a signal to the staff to go pick up the item, while also auto-generating the shipping labels and sending a message to a courier to come over to pick up the item and deliver to the customer. All of this would then be done in 5 hours, making orders now seamless. So the business analyst has been able to take the organization. The business analyst has been able to take the company from this point, where they were doing since 3 days. And at this point, they are losing customers because now you have people that are doing same-day delivery. And they've been able to take them from 3 days to 5 hours, meaning customers can order as much as they want. You have more customers that would patronize the brand because they know they're going to be getting their items on time. All of these things I've just mentioned, the tools that you would use in mapping out your processes is your Lucid chart and your Draw.io. So it's not something you're going to do up here. Okay, it's not something that you're gonna do up here, like, oh, I'm just gonna think about the to-be process. No, it's all going to be mapped out with your Draw.io or your Lucid chart. The key learning areas for a business analyst, because in addition to what I just mentioned, there are other things a business analyst does. A business analyst also serves as a middleman between the technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. The what? The technical stakeholders and the non-technical stakeholders. The technical stakeholders are the CEO, the CFO, the CDO, the CTO, the CAO, the COO, the CGRO, CFRO, the CDO, WG, YZ. Okay, all of the C's you can think about. Okay. So those are the non-technical stakeholders. They are in charge of making what the decisions. They know what the direction the company should face. And then we have the technical stakeholders. What the technical stakeholders are your developers, the analysts, etc. So if let's say there's a project, the company wants to build an application. The company goes ahead to hire a developer that will work on that application. The company goes ahead to what? To order, the company goes ahead to hire a developer. And they tell the developer, you know what? Oh, please, we need to create an application. We want to create an application that's going to help us to do this, do that. And the developer says, no problem. But that is not enough to build an application. The developer would also want to notice like, oh, what kind of payment system, what kind of payment gateway should we work with? What should be the colors of the application? What should be when customers purchase items from the application, should the application sing a song and say, oh, thank you very much, thank you for patronizing us. We are very happy. We are very happy. Should the application do that? All of that information is known by the non-technical stakeholders. The business analyst in this case would gather all of those requirements from the non-technical stakeholders using your elicitation skills, that's your requirement fundamentals. And then after getting all of those requirements, would then convert them into what we call an acceptance criteria, which will serve as a guideline for the developer to know what he or she should go ahead to build. That's another duty of a business analyst. So for you to be a business analyst, the first thing you need to know your Excel, Power BI, and SQL. Because now we have recruiters that want business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics. You don't necessarily have to be a data analyst, but I just want you to be able to carry out some data analytics functions. It's just like when you go buy ice cream and okay, and and then you say also please add in a little bit of what of chocolate, add in another scoop of chocolate. So you're ordering for what? You're ordering for vanilla with an additional scoop of chocolate. That is what recruiters are searching for. I want a business analyst, but the business analyst should also be able to work with some data tools so they are able to complement their role with data. We notice this. And that is the reason why you learn about your Excel, your Power BI. Great. Okay, just give me a moment. I'm going to pull up my screen again. All right. So I was saying, you learn what? You begin with your, I talked about your SQL, that's you learning the different data analytics tools due to what recruiters are searching for now. Okay, so recruiters want what? Recruiters want data analysts recruiters want want business analysts that have a flavor of data analytics, just like the way you love two flavored ice creams. And then process mapping. You move to your process mapping, which is now your business analysis in proper, your project initiation planning, your agile and scrum for projects, your SDLC, requirement fundamentals, elicitation, your stakeholder analysis and engagement, and of course, ChatGPT for business analysis. Because we are currently in the world of AI, and you want to know how to work with AI in increasing your productivity and your efficiency as a business analyst. Your learning timeline is in 4 months. You learn for what? You learn for 3 months, and then you intern for 1 month. Okay, and then of course the classes, you have the classes on Saturdays. You have live classes on Saturdays. On Saturdays you have 2 sections. That's for those in North America. So maybe you're in North America and or you're in Europe due to the varying time zones. No problem. There's a class for you. So for those in Europe and African time zone, the class 11 to 2 p.m. West African time. 11 to 2 p.m. West African time, and then in the evenings, that's for those in North America and all the time zones. It's from what 10 a.m. That's 9 a.m. now, 9 a.m. to what to 1 p.m. MST due to your daylight savings. That's 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. WAT, 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. West African time. That's on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, you have your self-paced watch me do it videos. Because like I mentioned, we work with a dual, we work with an hybrid approach where you learn in classes with your facilitator. You're working on projects where you have your live classes on Saturdays. And then on Sundays, you have the LMS, which you go through, you learn about the different, which you go through, you watch videos, you practice alongside, and you learn more skills. Okay, so and then that is what a business analyst does. That is that is what you need to know as a business analyst. Working with tools such as your Excel, your SQL, your Power BI, like I mentioned, your Lucidchart, your Confluence, which is your where you have your Jira or Jira, okay, your Trello, Draw.io, your Azure DevOps, and also your ChatGPT for analytics. And as we can see, the payment, that's the average salary for a business analyst. This is the average. What does average mean? Average means that you are going to get people that earn above this, and you're going to get people that earn slightly below this. So in the UK, the average salary of a business analyst is £52,000. In Canada, it's 74,000 Canadian dollars, and in the US, it's $85,000. As it's 5,000 US dollars. But what about the Agile project manager? So we've taken a look at what the roles and responsibilities of a business analyst. What about the Agile project manager? Remember that the business analyst decided that, okay, let's have a more optimized system. Let's have an order management system that we would use in carrying out orders to shorten delivery time. The Agile project manager is going to be in charge of that order management system built. In terms of the team that's going to work on that. The Agile project manager works with the Agile framework. There are different kinds of project management, 2 types of project management. You have the waterfall, and then you have the Agile. The waterfall is your traditional project management, which has been used, which is what has been used like years and years and years and years ago. That is like, let's call it the founding fathers of project management. Okay, and then now you have the Agile, which is a more flexible approach to managing projects, which many organizations are now tilting towards. Many organizations are now working with the Agile method due to the flexibility and the adaptable approach. So the Agile project manager would assemble a team that's going to work on building that order management system. And all of the different parts of the application will be divided into sprints, where you have your first sprint. So let's say we want to build just the login page. So in the waterfall, what the waterfall would say, the waterfall project management would say that, oh, you have to work on the entire application before you push to the public to get feedback on if it is good or not. That takes a lot of time. That means that the designer will need to design all parts of the application. The developer will need to develop all parts of the application. And before it moves out, so that can take, let's say, from 8 months to a year. And then if there's a change, if there's a feedback, then we start all the way from square one again. Agile says that why don't we break it into small chunks and work on all of these chunks bit by bit. Starting with our sprint one, where we work on just the login page. So the designer designs the login page. The developer goes ahead to build the login page. And then we send that login page to the users. And while the users are testing the login page, we also go ahead to work on sprint two. Okay, we work on sprint two building a storefront with product listings. So when we get feedback from the users on the login page, if there are issues, we can easily fix it up because we are still in the process of development. So we work on this bit. Let's just work on the user login page. We work on the user login page. We've been able to put different things in place. We push that out to the testers, to the users. They take a look at it. Oh, is it good enough? Oh, it's good enough. Great. So they bring it back. Then we move to the next stage. Oh, now let's create a storefront with product listings where people can find the different handbags to make orders. We do the same, and then we move to Sprint TV. So working on different parts of the application, bit by bit, one at a time. This is the method that many organizations use now. And that is the reason why you have different versions to different applications, where you have version 1.0, version 2.0, version 1.21, version 2. All of that is screaming agile. For you to be an agile project manager, things you need to know: your project management methodologies and structure. Number one, you need to understand your project management skills, how to manage projects. You need the skills for project management and communication, because as an agile project manager, you are a servant leader. You have a team. Okay, you have a team that you are leading, and at the same time, you are a servant to that team. You are leading the project. You determine how the project should go. You determine the cost, the direction of the project. But you are not really leading the team. You're not really leading the individuals. The reason it's called a servant leader is that we know that, oh, the team lead says stand, you stand, the team lead says jump, you jump. Okay, so that is like the team lead. Oh, so the team lead is the leader. But as an agile project manager, you are a servant leader because you are not leading the people, but rather you are leading the project. You determine how the project should go, but at the end of the day, you are not really like the boss of everyone. You are more like overseeing the team. So you need to understand different from your communication, your conflict resolution, how to resolve conflicts within the team, the foundations of Agile, Scrum. Because in Agile, there are different frameworks. You have your Scrum, you have your Kanban, you have your Lean. Your Scrum is used most times for your software development. And one great thing of learning Agile project management is that you get to understand the different aspects. You get to understand the different frameworks of APM. So if the organization doesn't work with Scrum, there's no problem. You can work with Kanban or you can work with Lean. The Scrum Actifier to learn about the sprint review, that's your Scrum events, from your sprint review to your sprint retrospective to your sprint planning. Working with tools such as your Confluence, your Jira, and your Trello. You learn for 4 months. The program is for 4 months, 3 months of learning, and then 1 month of internship by working on real-world projects. Your live classes are on Saturdays from 11 to 2 p.m. what, and then on Sundays by 2 to 5 p.m. what. Okay, and then next we have what? The data analyst. The data analyst, the data scientist, and the data engineers. What's the difference? It's all data, data, data. Is there really a difference between a data analyst, a data scientist, and a data engineer? Yes. Beginning with the data analyst. A data analyst ensures a data analyst is a professional that analyzes the business data and help the business make data-driven decisions. A data analyst focuses on two main areas of analytics. From your descriptive analytics, which is talking about what happened in the organization. What happened? What happened in the organization? In a business, it's over the end of the year. Okay, it's the end of the year, and many businesses are going to be having what we call end of the year overview, end of the year roundup. Did we achieve our goals for the year? What was our profits like for this year? What did we do this year? That is what your descriptive analytics. And let's say the data analyst goes ahead to find out, oh, we actually made this amount of profit, or we made $10 million in profit. The business would want to know, why did we make $10 million in profit? So if maybe there were some things that we did right, we can continue doing those things so we keep making what? More money. And thus, that's talking about your diagnostic analytics. Diagnostic analytics is talking about, why did it happen? So the data analyst answers two major questions. What happened and why did it happen? For you to be a data analyst, you have to learn about problem solving, how to solve problems, because that is one of the key duties of a data analyst. The different problem solving techniques, from the Pareto principle to the CRISP-DM framework, the prioritization matrix, the decision tree, you get to learn all of those. So you are a good problem solver. And then you move on to Excel, Microsoft Excel for analytics, your SQL for querying your databases, your Power BI and Tableau, which are both business intelligence too, and you learn about data storytelling, how you can tell stories using data, your ChatGPT for analytics, and also your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. Okay, you learn for what? 4 months. Program is for 4 months, learning for 2 months, that's attending classes for 2 months, and you intern for 1 month. And what about the data scientist? What is the difference between being a data analyst and being a data scientist? What is the difference? A data scientist continues from where a data analyst stopped. A data analyst takes a look at two major questions. What happened and why did it happen? What happened in the business? What is the data telling us? What does the data say happened? What did the data say happened? And then, why did it happen? The data scientist takes it a step further and identify what will happen, which is now your what? Your predictive analytics. The data scientist is able to take a look at the future and tell you, oh, this is what we are going to make in the next couple of years. This is what I'm saying for the business. This is what the data is saying. By what? By forecasting and building machine learning models. For you to be a data scientist, you need your statistics. You need to understand statistics, the mean median mode. We all know mean median mode. But now you get to see how mean median mode affects a business. Why should you work with mean? Why should we work with median in a business? Not just the theoretical meaning, but you get to see the practical application of these tools in businesses. And then you move to your forecasting and predictive analytics with using Excel, learning Microsoft Excel for your what? For your predictive analytics, your Tableau for data analytics. You learn about your SQL, your Python programming, exploratory data analysis, your machine learning, which is you building models that will be able to predict what would happen, your computer vision, you being able to build computers that can see. That's just what it is, really. Okay, computers that can detect humans, detect poses and objects, and then of course your GitHub for version control, ChatGPT and GitHub for coding, and your Microsoft Fabrics for analytics. As a data scientist, you also get to learn in 4 months. That you learn for 2 months, go to class for 2 months, and of course, intern for 1 month. So the program is for 4 months. You learn for 2 months, and then you intern for 1 month. Again, the data analyst, descriptive analytics, and diagnostic analytics. And then the data scientist moves on to what? The data scientist moves on to what? To the descriptive analytics, the diagnostic analytics, and the predictive analytics. Taking it a step further from where the data analyst stopped. But what about the data engineer? The data analyst, there's something similar between these two guys. There's something very important for the data analyst and the data scientist to function. And that is data. The data analyst and the data scientist, they both need data to function. And where is that data going to come from? The data engineer. The data engineer is in charge of creating a database. The data engineer is in charge of creating a pipeline for that data. The data engineer is in charge of getting the data from wherever the data is located, from the various data sources, and pushing this to a database, a data warehouse, or a data lake. So the data analyst, the data scientist, and every other person that needs to work with that data would be able to access the data and we'll be able to access the data for the analytics. Easy. That's just it. The data engineer is in charge of creating that robust data pipeline, creating that data. Like it's like having a water source and creating it's like a plumber where you have a water source and you connect different pipes to different rooms in the house to provide water to different rooms. So the bathroom, the kitchen, and every other place. So the data engineer will create those pipes to the different people that need it, to the different databases for the data analyst, the data scientists, everyone that needs data for them to be able to for them to be able to get the data to work with. For you to be a data engineer, you need to learn about SQL, your Python program, because you're going to code a lot as a data engineer. Okay, you have your Linux, the operating system. You get to learn how to build custom ETL pipelines, your APIs, your Apache Spark for what? For big data analytics. And then you have your Apache Airflow for your orchestration. That's when you want to automate your data retrieval process. So you're not doing the same thing over and over again. Oh, I need data. You try to, you go get the data. Oh, I need data. But the data, but to have a situation that your code will be running from time to time, getting new data and pushing it to the database to ensure that data is always available and always updated. And then you learn about cloud engineering, working with your GCP and your Azure, your version control, which where your GitHub come in, and your ChatGPT and GitHub for Copilot. You learn for 5 months. So the data engineering program is for 5 months. Learning for what? Learning in 3 months and interning for 2 months. And in the classes on Saturday, you have classes 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. which is 8 a.m. to 11 a.m. Mountain Standard Time. And then on Sundays, you have the self-paced Watch Me Do It videos on the Tenalytics LMS. And then for the financial analyst is a data analyst that focuses on what? Financial data. The financial analyst is still a data analyst. Okay? The financial analyst is still a data analyst, but it's a data analyst that focuses on financial data. The data analyst is like your GP. You know your GP, the general practitioners in the hospitals. So let's say you're having a tummy ache or you're having a headache. You go to the hospital, you meet a GP that'll be able to check, check what's wrong with you and tell you what's wrong with you and probably give you a prescription so you're healthy. General body functions, that's a GP. And then you have the surgeons. who are usually specialists in certain fields. So you can have the trauma surgeon, or you can have the neurosurgeon or the ophthalmologist, a surgeon that focuses on a specific part of the body. That is the same situation. The data analyst is the generalist, that's the GP now, and then the financial analyst is the surgeon. The financial analyst focuses on what? On financial data. For you to be a financial analyst, you also learn the data. You also get the data analytics skill set, learning about problem solving. So Excel, your Power BI, your SQL, for current databases. And then you move on to your accounting fundamentals, your financial analysis, financial modeling, valuation, sensitivity, and scenario analysis. For you to be able to identify, for you to be able to build financial models for organizations, to identify key areas for investment for organizations as a financial analyst, protecting the financial health of the company. And then the HR analyst is like the financial analyst. But while the financial analyst focuses on financial data, the HR analyst focuses on what? On HR data. The HR analyst is in charge of what? The HR analyst is in charge of people. The HR analyst is in charge of ensuring that people within the organization are working optimally by taking a look at the data, by improving talent retention, talent optimization, and reducing attrition using data. HR has transcended what we used to know. Gone are the days where HR was all about, oh, I want to request for leave, you request for leave, oh, look, I'm going to be absent, all of those things. It's not a whole lot more. Using data to have what we call stay interviews instead of exit interviews. As an HR analyst, you get to learn about your problem solving, your Excel, your Power BI, your SQL. You move on to your HR analytics and performance evaluation, your HR metrics and lifecycle, HR analysis and dashboarding, collaboration and report automation, building your case and creating action, and of course, ChatGPT for analytics. The program is for 4 months. You learn in 3 months, and then you intern for 1 month. And then for the cybersecurity analyst is a professional who helps in protecting an organization's networks and computer systems from what? From cyber threats. In the cybersecurity program, there are 4 major areas that you'll be taking a look at, because in cybersecurity, there are different career paths in cybersecurity. And the 4 career paths that I'll be taking a look at in cybersecurity in the program is number 1, your SOC analysis. You learn about SOC analysis, and then of course you have your penetration testing, your threat intelligence, and your GRC. In all of these different areas, you get to learn how to work with tools such as your VMware, such as your Cisco Packet Tracer, your Azure, your Wireshark, your Splunk, which is a CM2. Okay, learn about Linux, because of course that's the operating system of every cybersecurity analyst. The program will build you up, so you don't need to have any prior knowledge. Oh, you know what? I need to have some sort of knowledge in cybersecurity. No, you start from introduction to your foundation, and then you build up there to the area that you'll be able to apply what you've learned in getting a job. The cybersecurity program is in 4 months. You learn for 3 months, and then you intern for 1 month. Classes are on Saturdays, and classes are on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. West African time, and on Sundays from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. And in all of these career paths, there are different opportunities available for you. So many opportunities. As a data analyst, you don't only get to apply to data analyst roles. No, you get to apply to data analyst roles, to business intelligence analyst roles, that's BI analyst, to marketing analyst, sales analyst, supply chain analyst, and that is the same case for each and every career path. This tells you that there are so many opportunities available for you. Because picture this. You go on a job site and then you search for data analyst roles. You find so many roles, you begin to apply. You search for what? Business intelligence analyst roles. You find so many roles, you apply. You search for logistics analyst. So many opportunities. Because many organizations use different synonyms in referring to the same career path. So in all of those roles, the skills you would learn would equip you so you are able to function in all of those roles. Ensure you feel, because I'm sure that many of us would want to go through all of these roles in great detail. Please ensure you fill the attendance form so you get access to the slides, and so you could, on your own spare time, take a look at these and see the opportunities that are available for you. But how can we help you get a job? How can we help you get a job? Because it's not just you getting the technical skills, as I mentioned earlier. Yes, you're going to learn all of the skills. You're going to be a pro. Fantastic. That's sure. But how would you get a job? Because it's one thing for you to have the technical skills, and it's something else for you to get an interview, pass through the interview, and eventually land the job. You might have friends that say, oh, you know what, I'm a data engineer, I know how to work with Python, I know how to work with Linux. Until now, they don't have a job as data engineers, or they don't have a job in tech. So what is the difference? What is going to be the difference between them and you? What have we done for the people that we've been able to help transition, the over 2,500 individuals that we've been able to help transition? What is that difference? We understand the job equation. For you to get a job, there are two very important things you need. Number one is your technical skills. And number two, your employability skills. Having the technical skills alone is not enough to get you a job. No, it's not. Okay? Having the technical skills alone is not enough to get you the job. You need the other 50%, which are the employability skills. What we define as success in analytics is you getting a job, not just you learning the skills, that is a given, but you learning the job. And we are very much successful in that regard. And I'm sure you understand what that means. That is the reason why we focus on the other aspects. So you get the technical skills and you also get this additional employability skills. Your CV review and revamp, which would ensure that you have a great CV. Like I mentioned earlier, on your CV, we would help you, we would show you how you can convert whatever experience you had previously into valuable job experience. Because you don't want to go ahead applying for, let's say, financial analyst roles, and in your CV you're saying, oh, I worked as a maybe as a consultant for something, or I worked as a customer care rep. No. We would show you how you can create CVs that passes through the two major roadblocks. Roadblock number one being the applicant tracking system. Because many people, what they do is that they go ahead to apply for jobs and they wait for a feedback, and they never get a feedback. They feel that the recruiter did not want them, when the truth is that the recruiter does not even know they exist. Because as soon as they hit send on the job board to submit their CV, to apply for that job, the ATS at the back end is clicking on delete because it does not think you are the right fit for the job. So at the end of the day, the CVs that are presented to the recruiter, yours is not part of it. And so you feel you've applied for a job when you did not even apply. So the CV session would ensure that you have a great CV that passes through the two roadblocks. Roadblock number one, the ATS, and then number two, that when your CV eventually gets to the palms of the recruiter, or of course it's going to be a digital CV or to the screen of the recruiter, that the recruiter will go ahead to schedule an interview with you because they believe that you are the one for the job. The LinkedIn automation session would ensure that you have a great LinkedIn profile because many recruiters go on LinkedIn to recruit. And also, LinkedIn is also now an integral part of your CV. On your CV, you have your LinkedIn link where recruiters can click on to see if you are really who you say you are, to see if you've done it, to see if you can actually function in that role. LinkedIn optimization session would show you how you can have what they call emails, which you'll be getting alerts on job posts that are relevant to you, on job posts that you are the best fit for. It will show you how you can optimize your profile so you have situations where recruiters are reaching out to you to apply for jobs you didn't even know existed. The Navigating the Job Market would host professionals that would take you through how to navigate through the job market in your current climate, because some of us we just moved to a new country, we just migrated, and we really don't understand how the industry works in that location, how we should how we can go ahead to how we should go ahead to apply for jobs in that location. This session would have professionals that will tell you that, oh, this is what you need to do and this is how you need to do it. Once you've gotten an interview, you've been applying to jobs, and you eventually get an interview. The interview prep session, you can go ahead to book an interview prep session with a professional that will take you through questions you should expect, like, oh, the questions you expect, how you should answer those questions, how you should talk about your experience, how you should answer questions related to salary negotiation, to ensure that at the end of the day, you eventually do get that job. And when you've gotten the job, many recruiters want you to provide some sort of reference letter. As long as you're a participant or an alumnus within analytics, you can always reach out to us and we would provide you with a reference letter. We also found the job support. You've gotten a job and you've been given a task that is not so clear. You can always reach out to us and we put you through on what you need to do. So you go back to work and you deliver exceptionally. The weekly mentorship session will guide you on new trends in the industry, new ways to apply for jobs. We'll take you through things that you might not have been doing right. We'll take you through new ways to come up with CVs, new ways, being mentored weekly. We all crave a mentor. Everyone is like, oh, please, can you mentor me? Please, can you mentor me? We understand the importance of mentorship. And that is why you will be mentored weekly by industry experts, industry professionals. And if you're interested in freelancing, you want to freelance, you want to be a freelancer, the Upwork session would show you how you can be a successful freelancer, how you can work on Upwork, how you can apply for jobs using the Connect system, how you can write fantastic proposals, optimize your profile. So clients, that when you write a proposal, clients go ahead to view your proposal. At the end of the day, reach out to you to schedule a call. Okay, so all of these things are meant to position you rightly. In addition to the technical skills that you will have, they're meant to position you rightly for you to eventually get that job in whatever fields that you do require. And it might seem impossible to you. Probably at the start of the year, you wanted to do this. Maybe at the start of the year, you had dreams. You said, "Oh, you know what? At this point in my at this, let's say in August, maybe in August, in June, or at the close of November, I'm expecting that I'm already working in tech. I'm already doing this. I'm already making this amount of money. I already have good work-life balance. I'm already a star. I'm this. I'm that." And it doesn't. You are not there yet. And you might be feeling like, oh, I don't think it's really possible. Probably I should stick with whatever it is I'm doing at the moment that I don't love. But it is possible. There are people that have been where you are at the moment. People that we've been able to help transition. People that have transitioned from being working in care or working in the warehouse to getting their first job in tech. People that you can reach out, that you can listen to. From Lois that we're able to help get a job as a project manager in the UK, to Ungozi that we're able to help get a job as a business analyst in the UK as well, to Tony that we helped get a job as a benefits analyst, a sponsorship job as a benefits analyst with the NHS in the UK after going through our data analytics program, to Ursula that we helped get a job as a performance analyst in Desjardins, Canada after going through our data analytics program, to Abigail who was working as a care worker in Canada that we helped get a job as a business analyst with the government of Alberta, Canada. All of those testimonials you can listen to. We can spend a full session going through the testimonials of these individuals. Okay, but we really don't have the time. So as soon as you get the slides, ensure you click on those links, listen to these people, listen to them on how they were able to make that switch and how you can make that switch as well. So many individuals, so many people. We helped Fola transition into, we helped Fola get a job as what? As a business analyst with the government of Canada as well. We helped Abisola get a job as a machine learning specialist, okay, a generative machine learning specialist after completing our full stack data science program. We helped Benem get a job as a data analyst. So we helped Benem get a job as an HR analyst after completing our HR analytics program in January. She got a job in August after completing the program in April. She registered in January, completed in April, and got a job in August. All of the people that we've helped, I cannot, there's no way I can, place all of their testimonials in the slides. So please ensure you visit our social media channels, go through all of those testimonials. We've often had sessions where people come in, they join the sessions, they tell you how they were able to make the switch. It is very, very possible. Very possible. And we are very, very much committed to helping you. There's something that drives us. There's the reason why we started all of this. The reason why we set out to have 10 Analytics is to help you transition from living what you don't love into doing something you love. Something that you can see a career progression. Something that you are proud of. And due to that reason, we are always looking for new ways to better we are always looking out for new ways to better serve you. And that was one of the reasons why we applied to the Alberta Catalyzer program, which we accepted in. And an article was published. We were featured in an article by Tech Kaba, so you can read up the article from at this point. So you can read up the article to see how we are able to get into the Alberta Catalyzer program. The Alberta Catalyzer program, it's a program that helps different organizations upscale to help to do more to the community, to help to do more to those that they're serving. And we are a part of that. We are looking at ways to upscale the entire business, to be able to help more people, to bring more value to the Black community and help you transition to getting your first role in what? In tech, helping you. That's why we do what we do. That's why we do all we do. For you to be a part of our next cohort, which is going to begin December 7th, just a couple of weeks from now, and to be a part of the massive tender we are doing at the moment, you need to register. And how do you register? Easy. The registration fee is $750. That is the registration fee. But at the moment, we are running a discount for the first 20 persons to register. The first 20 persons to register. If you're a part of the first 20 persons to register, you get to pay 20% less, paying $600 instead. There are two ways you can make payments. You can make payments either via our website, or you can make payments via the link, that's the Maystack link, which my colleague has been sending to the chat box. Once you click on that, on the Maystack link, it's going to bring you over to the Analytics Enrollment Center. So I'm going to open that up. It will bring you over to the Analytics Enrollment Center. And on the Analytics Enrollment Center, so you can see at the moment, we still have the discounts running. And then once you scroll down, you see all of the programs we are offering. And you can select any program of your choice, the program you're looking to be a part of. So if you want to register for, let's say, data analytics, all you need to do, you go ahead and click on register for DA, okay? And you can make payments in installments. So let's see if the discount is still running. Okay, so let's see if the discount is still running. Okay, so we still have the discount. Okay, so we still have the discount. The discount is still running. So we can see the payment is still $600. Okay, so you can make payments in installments. If maybe you're unable to make payments, make the full payments at once, you can break that down into 2 payments or into 3 payments. So let's say you want to go for the 3 monthly installment. So you can come over here to where you have $200, click on that and click on proceed to pay. You fill in your details. All right. So you fill in your details and then you go ahead. You fill in your details and then you go ahead to make payments. And then as soon as you make payment, a receipt will be sent to you. A receipt will be sent to you via email, accompanied with a link for you to complete your registration. So you click on that link, and once you click on that link to complete your registration, you upload your receipt, you fill in the details, and then you will get a feedback. You will get a feedback from us, an email that will contain everything you need to be a part of the program. The monthly installment, once you make payment in the next month, that's in December, you get to pay the another $200, and then in January you pay the balance of $200. So the discount is still running. So you want to try to make payments as quickly as possible. Now, for those of you, so remember wondering, oh, this is in dollars. What about if maybe I want to pay in pounds? I want to pay in Canadian dollars, or I'm in Australia, or I'm in Ghana, I'm in South Africa. There's no problem. You can go ahead to make payments. The local currency equivalent is what will be deducted from your account. So you can go ahead to make payments. So once you select $200, you go ahead to proceed to pay. You don't need to have a dollar account or maybe a dollar card. No, there's no problem. All you need to do once you make payments, the local currency equivalent will be deducted from your account. Okay, so that will be Canadian dollars. So if you're paying in pounds and you decide to go ahead to make payments in, with the 2 monthly installments, that's a $200, a hundred and something pounds will be deducted from your account. So you don't need to fret in that regard. Okay, so we also have the Tenalytics LMS. I know I talked about the Tenalytics LMS for a while. So this is the Tenalytics LMS. Once you go ahead to make payments, you will be onboarded on the Tenalytics LMS. Over here, you see you have you can request, you can schedule an appointment and interview prep. So if I click on schedule an appointment, I insert my name, I select my program, I insert the job link. That's the link, the job I applied for. I provide that link. Okay, so we can take a look at the job you applied for to help you prepare even better. And then we need details about the interview, and then you also provide the interview stage. What stage are you in? And then the job description. You also insert the interview date, and then you upload your CV, and then you click on next to select an instructor. Then you get to what? You get to schedule a time. Okay, you get to what? You get to schedule a time and to have a one-on-one conversation and for you to be prepped for that interview. And over here, you can also request for a reference letter or for reference details. And over here, you see you have the leaderboard where you get to see how you compare, how you are faring as regards your peers. It's just to create some sort of competitive learning, making learning even more fun. Over here, you can see your streak count, your stats, and then your badges end. Where for every assessment you take, you get to earn a badge that you can share on social media for people to know that you are now skilled and that you can do these for opportunities to come your way. And then on the watch me do it videos. So let's say you are in the data analytics program. So you can come over to data analytics and then you click on continue learning. Okay. And then over here, you'd see you have the different weeks. So you have the week 1, where you have the module 1, the module 2. You have all of the different videos. So you get to select the module that you're looking to that you are on. So let's say you are on week 2, and then you can, so this week 1 is on Excel, week 2 Excel, week 3 is on dashboarding and storytelling. Then week 4 is on getting started with Power BI, and you have a couple everything at once. You want to see everything, you want to see all the tabs. Okay, and then you have a couple of you have other weeks. So you get to watch all of these videos and you practice alongside. Okay, so you practice alongside. At this point, you see you have the course materials that you can download, so you can practice with the facilitator. So this is Efemina. Efemina taking you through Excel. Efemina is a fantastic professional and the co-founder of Tenalytics. Okay, so and once you're done taking watching the videos and practicing, very important, you take an assessment quiz for you to see how you fare. All right, and then once you pass the assessment, you get a badge. So you have this dual learning approach. You're learning with those videos, and you're also having live classes. You're also having live classes in with the facilitator. So like I mentioned, we use a dual learning approach at Tenalytics. All right, so please, let's go ahead to make payments. And remember, the discount is only for the first 20 persons to register. So you want to try to register as quickly as possible and be a part of the people that we've been able to help transition into tech. As soon as you get the slides, you can go through all of the testimonials. There are so many testimonials, so many. We can spend the whole day here. Take a look at this. Okay, so any question? I guess I can take maybe 1 or 2 questions and then we call it a day. Okay, so we have okay, I can see I have a question from Okpayemi. So I'm gonna ask Okpayemi to unmute. Okay, I'm gonna ask Okpayemi to unmute, and then I'll take Okpayemi's question. And also, I may not be able to take everyone's questions. So even though you have a question, ensure you book for a clarity session, because we have clarity sessions every day. So a clarity session is a session where you can, once you join, it's a question and answer session. So you have an interaction with the different professionals at Tenalytics to ask any question you have relating to how you can transition in tech, any question at all, and you will be provided answers. So you can book a clarity session. Please ensure you book a clarity session. I'm sure you're a part of the community. Just speak with any of the admins. They will provide the link for you to book for the session. So I'm going to take Okpayemi's question now. So Okpayemi, please, you can go ahead and ask your question.
Hi everyone. So thank you very much. Can you hear me?
So it's a bit fun. Just give me a moment. Give me Just give me a moment. I think I really can't hear
Is it
you. I don't know
clearer
if it's
now?
for me alone.
Is it clearer?
Okay, yes. I think this is better now.
Okay, all right. So thank you for the detailed explanation of all the old um
Thank you.
tech tech whatever it
Please can you
is.
give me a moment? Opeyemi, sorry, just give me
Okay,
a moment. So I still can't hear you. I just want to try switching headsets real quick. Okay, just a moment, please.
okay. All
Okay.
right. So
Yeah.
all right. So my first question is based on the employability skills. Like you have a
Okay.
whole lot templates that you've mentioned. So these skills, are they going to be something that will be will be supported by your company's analytics? And is it going to be like a one-off support, or is it going to be like something that can be done subsequently, maybe when I need your help to help me with some things, and I can always come back, so I'm not going to be charged for any extra whatever. And also the the choosing of the career path is actually quite difficult for me because I've actually had experience in some of the I've had experience in banking, I've had
Yeah.
experience in sales, and currently I just completed my master's in the UK, and I'm not sure of which of the career path I need to follow now because I'm thinking of going into data analytics, but now I'm thinking of doing business analytics. So I just need someone that can, like an expert, that can help me choose the career path that will help me leverage into the technology.
Okay. All right.
Mm.
So regarding the second question you asked, that's which career path the best career path for you as regarding your experience, what you know. So I would want you to I'm going to give you an answer. I'll try to provide some clarity, but I mentioned that we have a clarity session that holds every day. So there's going to be a clarity session from tomorrow's Monday, from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. So try to book a clarity session where your questions will be answered in great detail. Okay,
Okay.
but from what you mentioned, Opeyemi, the first thing does the employability services. Are they going to be a one-off? No, not a one-off. Okay, so things like the CV review sessions are going to occur subsequently, and even the mentorship session is weekly, like I said, and then the reference letter. As long as you're an alumnus or a participant, so even when you're done with the program, you can always reach out to us and we provide you with a reference letter whenever the need arises. So yes, you can reach out to us whenever the need arises, and of course we would help you out. And yes, that's about it. So it's not a one-off. Your relationship with analytics is actually a lifetime relationship because when you haven't done with the program, you get lifetime access to the
Okay.
materials, the facilitators, everything you learned, the LMS I showed you, you get lifetime access to that. You get lifetime access to the recordings. Okay, so it's not a one-off, oh, so you're just on the program, bye. No, that's not the case. Okay. Now, regarding the area that you mentioned that you are interested in data analytics and business analysis, I believe,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Okay. And you have experience in banking.
Not majorly an experience. I would just say the basics because what I actually the major experience I have is in sales. That's actually the one.
Okay.
The banking is just like industrial training, so it's not something that I really leverage on for long. It was just for one
Okay.
year.
Just for 1 year. Okay, great. So the first thing for you to understand is that you can succeed in any of the career paths. There are actually two things that you need for you to be able for you to go ahead to register for any of the programs. Number one is interest. Interest is what would make you register and what will keep you excited when learning. And number two is commitment. Commitment is what would ensure you go through your classes. Commitment is what would ensure that you are working on your assignments, you're working on your projects, that you are doing all of those things. You don't need any kind of experience for you to venture into any of the career paths we offer here at Analytics. Remember, I talked about the three different criteria: ease of learning, ease of transitioning, and higher rewarding salaries. And the eight different career paths are the career paths that fell in these two categories. Ease of transitioning boils down to two things. Number one is that you don't need to have some sort of background experience. Oh, you must have done something in data previously for you to migrate to data. No, that is not the case. And also that ease of transition, the number two is for ease of transitioning is that there are numerous opportunities available for you to easily transition. So number one, you don't need the experience. And number two, there are lots of opportunities available. So this is the case for every one of the programs. So we would take you through everything you need to know from the basics. You don't need to come with some sort of prior experience. So you can come as a newbie, and we'll take you from the foundations. We build the foundations with you, and we build you up to that place where you have the skills required for you to get a job. Okay? So at the end of the day, Okoyebi, it all depends on what do you want to do. Because data analytics and business analysis are two different career paths. They are not the same. Okay? They are not the same. They are two different career paths. So do I see myself working as a data analyst? Think about that. Or do you see yourself working as a business analyst? Whatever it is you decide upon, you can go ahead with that and you will get a job. I showed a testimonial of Tony. Tony had experience in pharmacy. Okay, she was a pharmacist and got a job as a benefits analyst. That's a data analyst. So it's not, we had Tony. Tony was a lawyer and got a job as a business analyst. So your background doesn't matter. Okay,
all right, thank you very much for the clarity.
Sure, no problem. Thank you very much. So I can see how long will this offer last? So what offer are you talking about, Paul? I'm thinking you're talking about the discounts. The discount is going to last it's only for the first 20 persons to register. So as soon as that number is up, it's over. So we really don't know. I can't give you a specific date or a specific time. Okay. So it's for the first 20 persons to register. And then please don't forget, Olaleka is asking for the clarity session link. That will be provided in the community that you're a part of. That's the WhatsApp community. It will be provided. So please ensure you book a clarity session. I would not be able to take everyone's questions now. So please ensure you book a clarity session and all your questions will be answered. Okay. All your questions will be answered. I hope we had a great time today. I can see Norma's on this way, so I think I'll just take Norma's question and we call it a day. And Norma, you can go ahead.
Hello, good
Norma? So I just asked you to unmute.
Yeah,
go ahead.
I just unmuted. Yeah, please, I have a question. The rate for the Canadian dollars, I don't know what rate you guys are using. I think is way higher than 600 equivalent in USD because I tried using my app to just do as if not that I have $600 to pay right now, like trying to use it and the conversion rate is different. And I think that should be considered because that rate, 600 US dollars is not equivalent to 900 Canadian dollars. So I don't think it's fair for us who would have to pay in Canadian dollars. And secondly, because I have a lot on my table now, I would love to join the January cohort. I was wondering if payments can start from that January and 3 months into it. Like, it's almost the end of the month. There's so much to do. Like, for the fact that we listened up to the and showed interest, can't we be given that concession?
Okay, so you're looking at making payments in January. And
yeah, because the January 6th one that I think, because I have a lot rounding up my program in school now, I don't think like the day that program is starting is kind of tight for me. This period is kind of that December beginning, though I'll be freer later in December, like from 19th, but then you guys would have been almost 2 weeks into the program and I don't want to have to miss out on anything, like not paying attention because I have a lot on my plate. So I've decided to settle for the January cohort. And I feel the amount, if we can start paying instrumentally in January for those that want to join, or let me speak for myself. If I'm given that opportunity, I would appreciate that.
Okay,
And
so
still
if it
this discounts.
okay. Okay.
The fact that we attended today.
Yeah. Yeah. So Norma, yes, you can still make pay instrumentally in January if you're looking to register in January. That is still
Yeah.
very possible. But the only thing I would mention, and they also talked about that, the discounts. Now, it's not really sure. We are not sure that if the discounts will run down to January, and there might also be a change in the price going into the new year. Okay, so we can only give a guarantee for what is happening now, and that is that there's a discount running now. But something you can do is that you can also go ahead to make payments now. You can register now and then defer down to January. You mentioned that you at the moment you are very busy, and so you would not have time to attend the classes, which is very understandable. And that is the reason why we've also given an option for deferment. So after you've made payment and when you're looking to register, that's when you're filling the form. There will be a link that will be sent to you where you click on and you upload your receipts. There's going to be an area that's asking when would you like to start. All you need to do is to choose January. And then once it's January, once it's time for the January cohort to begin, you are sent the details you need to be a part of that cohort, and then you get to be a part of the cohort. And it doesn't matter if there's a change in the price later on, but you would be on the old price bandwidth. Okay, so that's an angle for you to take a look at, Norma. And then as regards the conversion, you talked about the conversion. Yes. So
Yes.
while the conversion might not seem like it as like it is that when you do the conversion from $600 to Canadian dollars, the US dollars is like the staple currency of the global economy. And so other currencies tend to you have like rise and falls from, and they're when they are being compared with the dollar. And that is one of the things that affects the conversion rate. So the conversion rate that might be working right now might not be the conversion rate that might be working tomorrow, or that might be working at the end of the month. And that is the situation. That is the some of the things that we put in place that we talked about when we went ahead to structure all of that using the main stack. So that's something we look into. But at the moment, if you're paying in dollars, of course, you have the $600. And I think Norma dropped off. Norma dropped. Okay. Okay. So Norma is still with me. Yeah. So if you're paying in dollars, so you get to pay $600, and of course you have the local currency equivalent. That's when you do the conversion, and then you also get to make payments. And at the top, you can also select your currency. When you click on the main stack link at the top, you'd notice that you can also choose the currency that you are looking to make payments in. You'd notice it's in dollars. You can select Canadian dollars, or if you're paying in Naira, you can select Naira, and then you see the equivalent for you to make payments. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I believe that's those are the questions I'll be able to take for now. I hope we had a nice time. I did. And I will see you all when next I see you. And please, let's ensure we register, because something we tell our kids, I want to tell it to you as well. And that is quick says the clock. Whatever it is you have to do, please ensure you do quick. Cheers, everyone.